All right, guys. We've got some breaking news out of Australia. Vice President Mike Pence was in Australia today, and the North Koreans are now threatening Australia with nuclear annihilation. North Korea threatens Australia with nuclear strike over U.S. alliance. This is out of the news.com website. It says that North Korea has bluntly warned Australia of a possible nuclear strike if Canberra persists in blindly and zealously towing the U.S. line. North Korea State News Agency on Saturday quoted a foreign ministry spokesman castigating Australian Foreign Minister Julie Bishop after she spouted a string of rubbish against the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. If Australia persists in following the U.S. moves to isolate and stifle the DPRK and remains a shock brigade of the U.S. master, this will be a suicidal act of coming within the range of the nuclear strike of the strategic force of the DPRK, the report said. The Australian foreign minister had better think twice about the consequences to be entailed by her reckless tongue-lashing before flattering the U.S. Earlier this week, Miss Bishop said on the ABC's AM program that North Korea's nuclear weapons program posed a serious threat to Australia unless it was stopped by the international community. The KCNA report said that what Miss Bishop had said can never be pardoned, as it was an act against peace, and North Korea's entirely just steps for self-defense. Okay. There's the dear leader. It said Australia was shielding a hostile U.S. policy of nuclear threats and blackmail against North Korea, which was the root cause of the current crisis on the Korean Peninsula, and encouraged the U.S. to opt for reckless and risky military actions. The present government of Australia is blindly and zealously towing the U.S. line. The report said the situation on the Korean Peninsula was inching close to the brink of war in an evil cycle of increasing tensions. U.S. Vice President Mike Pence is in Australia, and the threat of North Korea's nuclear weapons and missiles programs were high on the agenda in talks with Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull. Mr. Pence would not rule out the use of military force in North Korea, but said all options are on the table, and he stressed the U.S. was focused on diplomacy at this stage. He continued the pressure on the rogue state during his visit, saying the U.S. supercarrier Carl Vinson will arrive in the Sea of Japan in days, after the mixed messages from Washington over the warship's whereabouts. The strike group was supposedly steaming towards North Korea last week, amid soaring tensions over the rogue state's apparent ramping up for the sixth nuclear test, with Pyongyang threatening to hit back at any provocation. But the U.S. Navy, which had earlier said the aircraft carrier would sail north from waters off of Singapore as a prudent measure to deter the regime, admitted on Tuesday the ships were in fact sent away from Singapore and towards Australia to conduct drills with the Australian Navy. The aircraft carrier will arrive in a matter of days, Pence said. So this face-off with North Korea and the armada of ships, we're talking other countries, Australia, Japan also included in that armada, is going to be posted off the North Korean peninsula in just a few days. This coming on the 25th of April, being their celebratory period where they like to shoot off missiles, kind of like 4th of July whenever they have a big celebration. They like to shoot off some nukes and some intercontinental ballistic missiles just to show how much technology they've got. And they're going to do this on the 25th, supposedly. This is why we're posting our armada on their coast, because they were told they weren't supposed to do this. Way back in the Clinton administration, they promised, and look at what they've done, continually breaking their promises. And being aided by this kind of mindset for the last 8 years, they probably think that they can get away with it again. But this is it. It's over. I think something big's about to go down. All right, I got another report for you guys in just a moment, so hold tight.